Hello everybody, welcome back to Univesco TV. So I'm going to talk about the impact of COVID-19 on different new economy sectors in China and across the globe, but we'll focus on mainly in China. Now you may wonder what is a new economy sector. So if you understand in terms of finance, everything is divided into sectors. We have a healthcare sector, we have a financial sector, so on and so forth. There are many different sectors. The new sectors are sectors which have been existing now but were not part of the traditional sectors that we would classify as sectors, let's say maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago. So for example, banks would be classified under financial sector, but these days are sectors which have branched out from traditional sectors to form their own mini sector. For example, healthcare, we have e-healthcare these days. So for example, you can have consultancy on your healthcare, on your health via a mechanism of electronic media such as online conference calls or over the phone even. So for example, online healthcare, that would be a new sector. For example, e-commerce, that was a sector which never existed 20 years ago, 25 years ago. It has picked up quite a lot in the last 5 to 7 years, especially in China in the past 5 to 7 years. Since the labor is very cheap, so on-demand delivery of simply being able to order something on Taobao, which is the Chinese eBay, and getting the delivery within the next couple of days, right at your doorstep, the convenience. So these are the sectors some of the sectors which have been greatly impacted by COVID-19 outbreak, and some of the sectors have been able to be immune from that outbreak. We're going to focus on different sectors and how has the impact been. Has it been a positive one, has it been a negative one, or has it been a neutral one? So if you look into the screenshot that I'm going to post in this video right now, which is basically the screenshot of the impact and how it classifies the impact, whether it has been a very positive one, a very negative one, or a neutral one. Some of the sectors were in their later stages, some of them were in their maturity stage. So for example, if we look at positive sectors which have had a very good impact by the change in demand, has been online healthcare. We were in difficult times, everybody is scared about their healthcare, so they were consulting the multiple apps available for online consultancy for a doctor even. Online education, fresh food, e-commerce. So as people are scared to go out, as they were reluctant, as they were locked down in many cities across China, people are simply ordering their food, YMA as it's called, delivery of food, just simply by their phone, and they were just simply receiving the delivery at their compounds, at the entrances of their compounds. Then we're going to focus on on-demand delivery. On-demand delivery was neutral because although there was on-demand delivery, although there was like parcels being sent here and there, but mostly it was related to masks and medical supplies. So again, it was very neutral. There was no surge in demand and there was no lack of demand in that particular sector. Then we're talking about short videos, long videos, online gaming. Online gaming had a positive impact, and a positive impacted by change in demand and supply. Many gamers were stuck at home. They were under a process of quarantine, so they were simply playing a lot of games online. And I mentioned in the previous video, it was good to play games even in the lockdown. Nowadays in certain countries it's good to play games, but also do utilize this time to focus on developing a skill as well. Negative impact was shared power banks. So many people were reluctant to use power banks which are available in restaurants or which are available in cafes, cinemas were mainly closed, but like coffee shops, we have a machine with 8 or 10 power banks in it. Just scan your Alipay or your Wechat and you simply get the power bank, and you pay per minutes, every 10 or 15 minute blocks, and as long as you want to charge your phone, you just pay accordingly. So I've utilized that power bank facility many times, and I've paid roughly about 6 to 8 RMBs for an hours of phone charge. Then early childhood education. So again, a lot of classes were shifted to online classes from the school. So many kids were spending a lot of time on screen time on their computer screens, on their iPads. Hence parents were reluctant to have further education for them, have even like extra online classes for them. So the demand for online classes demand significantly. And also let's focus on negative impact, but that was change in supply, e-commerce. Also, as I said, e-commerce, many of the factories were closed, so a lot of production had halted in China during that time. Hence, a lot of goods were not being able to be produced and also being able to send out to different clients. And China had focused most of the factories that shifted to medical supplies, so mostly masks, and a lot of factories shifted to producing sanitizers as well. And let's focus on hospitality and travel and tourism, which was impacted by changes demand and had a negative. It goes without saying, many people were not traveling, flights were closed, airports were closed, many people were using that time to stay at home and they were not necessarily traveling, which makes a lot of sense. So these are the sectors which were greatly impacted by the COVID-19 outbreak here in China, and similarly, if you focus on these kind of sectors across the globe, these would be the sectors which have been greatly hit. For example, a lot of stock prices of airlines have dropped. For example, Delta has dropped quite a lot, more than 60% since the start of this year. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to write to me in the comment section below.